Shift over to the Ottawa REDBLACKS from the Toronto Argonauts. Won 2 Grey Cups, of course, with Toronto 2022, 2024, the 2023 CFL Coach of the Year. And in the time that Dinwiddie won 2 Grey Cups, the Ottawa REDBLACKS played in 1 playoff game. That is why he is here. As the ball is on the tee, see Khalil Pimpleton back alongside Daniel Adeboboye, ready to get things going. A short warm-up for these players, but the end of week number 1 is upon us as Pimpleton will get the touch from his own 12-yard line, crosses the 20, and will step out of bounds just shy of the 30-yard line. And Ottawa won the toss and decided they want the football immediately for Jake Maier, Lapo. Yeah, and Jake Maier, 5-9-1 and 15 starts last time he was a starter, and you can see, like, his completion percentage is, the last time he was a starter was 73%, 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. This is a quarterback that's got thrown a lot of footballs, a lot of experience. Ryan Dinwiddie was very impressed with him throughout training camp, made the decision. This is the guy who's going to lead our team. Elijah Collins lines up in the backfield alongside him, and he'll get the touch here on first down as Greg Bell not in the lineup, dealing with neck stiffness, and Collins, the extended handoff here, goes to the outside as we get a look at the Ottawa REDBLACKS starting offense that, again, does not include one Greg Bell, big free agent addition. Ryan Dinwiddie said, I need to be a more physical O-line. Well, what do? Enter Giovanni Vaccaro, REDBLACKS first pick, the first pick in the CFL, an outstanding offensive lineman. Keelan White, 482 yards last year. Marshall, he's moved inside to the slot. Expect much bigger things from this second-year player from Montana. Robbie Smith digging in at defensive end for the Edmonton Elks. We'll get to that starting lineup in just a moment as flags fly on the second snap of the ball game. Jake Maier awaits the call from our referee, Andre Proulx, at the helm here.
Offside. Ottawa number 7. 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
Aiden Eberhardt has the call go against him, so just his second snap from scrimmage after coming over in free agency from the BC Lions, and yeah, he's going for a journey down there at the bottom. You can see basically a hard count by the quarterback. He's going on 2. You got to time up your waggle. You always want your receivers to be a little bit farther back if it's a hard count, so you're not offsides. Arrogance, a 4-man rush in the wet here in the nation's capital. Hit as he throws, checks it down underneath, and Collins on second and long after the penalty pushed Ottawa backwards, will slide his way down around the 30, and the punting unit comes out, and it is a new punter as well for the REDBLACKS, Noah Getman in the lineup. Yeah, a little bit of pressure up front, and you only have to rush 4 players when Dino Boyd gets pushed back a little bit, but when you're in an extra situation, Edmonton just drops back and plays zones, forces the ball to be checked down to Collins and get off the field. Good stuff for the defense to start. New addition, Malik Carney, making his impact felt quickly as Edmonton came after it. Beautiful high spiraling boot. Drops all the way down after 55 yards in the waiting arms of Javon Leake. Provide benefits for him. Justin Rankin gets the first touch of the ball game. They'll toss it to the outside and expect plenty of this evening as Rankin breaks one for a first down on first down, setting the tone for an Edmonton offensive line that is big and restocked in free agency, a gain of 15. Yeah, we got a little bit of bunch crunch. You got a bunch of people blocking down and then creating an opportunity to, you separate the defense blocking down and a little toss play to the outside, get Rankin the ball in space. Nice, easy 10-yard gain. Empty it out here, 4 by 2 underneath and spinning backwards. And did the ball come out? At the bottom of the pile, it looks like Ottawa has it for now. No signal from the officials, but you see the direction all of the arms are pointing for the Ottawa REDBLACKS. Looked like Skylar Griffin on the catch. Cody's trying to see the middle of the field.
On the field as the ball carrier was down with contact.
So Skylar Griffin splitting the defense as the linebackers expand. Cody recognized that little space, get it to Skylar Griffin. We'll see whether that looks like that ball's out a little bit early, whether that's a completion, or I think it might be an incomplete pass here. Yeah, it looks like it was loose, trapped underneath. But Niles Morgan, how about him making his impact felt extremely quickly at Notre Dame, jumping over from Edmonton. Ryan Dinwiddie taking a good look at it. Yeah, not the funnest thing when you're Skylar Griffin. You got a couple of big linebackers in between trying to catch that little short pass. Will Snyder in for the short yardage quarterback situation, sneaks his way to the left-hand side, plunges forward, first down Edmonton. Snyder fired up to get his first opportunity of the season as we get a look at the Edmonton Elks starting offense.
Yeah, really excited for a full season to watch Carter O'Donnell. Signed in September last year after a long NFL trip. He's going to be a great player for this offensive line, I believe. And the most explosive player in the CFL, Justin Rankin, led the CFL with 17 big plays last year. Get this guy the ball all game long. Love watching him play.
247 combined touches through the air and ground for Justin Rankin last year. No fumbles. That'll be challenged here tonight in the slippery conditions as this one is completed. Looks like Cephas makes the grab on the outside. First year out of University of Texas San Antonio. And he was one of the names that Mark Killam mentioned. Most competitive positional group in training camp for the Elks, and this guy won a job.
A little bit of a rub play there. You can see the wide receiver, Brendan O'Leary-Orange, widening out, lifting the lower player. And then Cephas just sits in the dead spot, and Cody Fajardo recognizes that these are the quick throws that Cody enjoys so much. Ball out of his hand quickly, help your offensive line, put yourself in second and short, give the ball back to Rankin.
Skylar Griffith motions around in the backfield as they'll hand it off. Rankin, jump cut, runs through contact, still on his feet, crosses the 55, and it'll be a first down as they rush the football on 2nd and 3 against this Ottawa defense.
Bryce Carter, 5 sacks last season, hoping to get back to 2013 when he had 12. Very good player outside on the edge. Hey, I highlighted all the linebackers because they're all brand new. A.J. Allen, Niles Morgan, you already talked about. C.J. Rivas and Alonzo Adai was a starter last year, got hurt week 1, missed the entire season. Good to see him back in at that free safety position.
Mario Houston, underrated as well out there on the corner. But yeah, the linebackers definitely the big talking point throughout training camp for these Red Blacks. Is quick slant. Austin Mack, the intended receiver, incomplete.
So this is what you call a protected run play. This is a pass built off the run. You're going to get pressure off of this side, and Cody's already seeing it. He sees it peripherally, and he goes, okay, well, I have a player on a slant in that space, so I can now just disregard the run play, throw the ball on the outside. Just missed Mack a little bit, just a little bit too far inside.
Sends Keon Julian Grant in motion. 7 touchdowns for the Elks last year, and then back underneath, it is complete. And the defense rallies for the Red Blacks. C.J. Rivas right there again, the free agency addition coming over from Saskatchewan, credited for changing part of the culture in this locker room going into 26.
Big blitz picture here by the Red Blacks. They send a bunch of players. You see all 3 linebackers blitz, but then they drop out into a zone. C.J. Rivas is the low player. Does a good job at understanding, hey, the ball's going to come out of the hands quickly. Wraps up for the nice tackle.
Julian, the punter for the Edmonton Elks, as he lofts this one into the rainy skies. And Khalil Pimpleton watches it bounce, chases it down, and picks it up at his 15-yard line.
Have successful teams in change.
Out of a boy, the back play action to him, flip to Khalil. Pimpleton defense flies up, and immediately Cordell Jackson, part of this Edmonton starting defense, making the play.
Well, pretty excited about Malik Carney, and I'm sure everyone in Elksland is. Leading sacker for the Saskatchewan Roughriders last year, expecting great things from him. And then Niles Morgan leaves, goes to the Red Blacks. Nick Anderson steps into that middle linebacker spot, and J.J. Ross started week 8 last season, was outstanding down the stretch. 5 turnovers in the last 6 games. This is a great young player, J.J. Ross.
Rack another stat up for Cordell Jackson, who was 4 defensive plays last year. Best for any defensive back as Mayer looks to throw. They dropped Lee Carney out that time in coverage, but right on the spot, Nick Anderson missing all but 7 games last year. Groin injury, flies out and immediately covering down on the flats.
Another, zone coverage when you got people second and extra, force the quarterback to check it down. You get a great opportunity to run downhill, make a tackle here. You can see the speed we have. The speed of Nick Anderson is what impressed me 2 years ago, player out of Tulane, how he could play that will linebacker spot. Now he moves into that middle linebacker spot, is even more aggressive.
It's a second straight beautiful punt here from Noah Geffen, the newcomer at punter, and Javon Leake returns it, makes 2 men miss, and then runs himself right into a tackle. Is that Anthony Gosselin in the middle of the fray? It looks like it was
coming in. Taylor Powell coming in at quarterback, but the big one I'm looking forward to is Austin Mack at wide receiver.
Talk more about that as the game goes on, but Mack, and on cue, his connection with Cody Fajardo back in 2023. Those two got after it together. Won a Grey Cup, of course, and Mack having a stellar season and looking forward to working with Fajardo again.
You just watch him. He's just going to run a quick out route, which is quarterback's just going to take the ball immediately, see that there's softness on the defense. That's called a free access throw. I'm just going to get myself a 6-yard completion. Damari Houston does a good job making a break on the play, but those balls are just too difficult when you're a soft corner to be able to come up and make a play.
Fajardo with 4 receivers available, looks to his right, comes back left, looking to take off and run on second down. Does takes a big hit. And a flag flies as rolling over the top, C.J. Rivas.
Defense is doing a pressure on the inside. You can see a blitz and a little bit of twist. Cody feels it, has to start scrambling. You know, he doesn't slide till late, so that puts C.J. Rivas in a difficult spot. But I think this is more of a blow to the head than it's a late hit on the quarterback. I think that's what they're going to say, that this was a blow
Major
to the head.
foul. Roughing the passer. Contact to the head of the passer. Ottawa number 8.
It doesn't matter.
This is a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It doesn't matter what you do in football. You're not allowed to hit a guy in the top. You can't hit a guy in the head, right? That's just not allowed in the game. So unfortunate. You know, C.J. Reeves going to make a play. Difficult for him.
So Fajardo shakes that one off and goes back to work with a fresh set of downs from the Red Blacks 27-yard line. Blitz is on. And they had a running play called, and somehow Rankin danced his way out as flags fly everywhere. And Rankin inside the 15, jump cuts back again, down at the 10, and now they'll sort out the myriad of flags. We don't have enough flags flying to towel off the field the way that it is tonight, but
well, there's a big pressure coming. You see Bennett Williams is going to come into your screen and blitz. The receiver misses him, but Justin Rankin makes him miss. Then bounces outside, then makes somebody else miss, and then gets this huge main, cuts the weak arm. That's he breaks across the grain. This is a huge play when he should have been stopped cold right in the backfield. There you see a face mask is what's going to create the first down opportunity for the Elks.
Second foul is a face mask on Ottawa. We're going to go up 5 yards, automatic first down.
So there's a holding. There was a holding by the Elks and a face mask, so it's a gain of 5 and the first down to put them just outside the red zone for the Elks. But an amazing run by Rankin. That's just why he's so fun to watch, his ability to move laterally and then get north-south.
Mark Gillum, head coach, watching on alongside receivers coach Jason Tucker. And I wonder if Jabari Arthur, that we saw pre-game, former CFL with the Calgary Stampeders, is going to take credit. He's the running backs coach here with Edmonton. I think Rankin gets all the credit on that one. We'll see what he does here, catching it out of the backfield and shooting down low that time. Safe, smart, trying to do anything to get Rankin down is Mario Houston.
Really smart here as Justin Rankin leaks out into the flat. The defender covering him starts to cover Bennett Williams. He's like, nah, I'm going to go to Cody Fajardo. Well, Cody just says, all right, you're going to do that. I'm going to throw it on the perimeter. But good rally. Mario Houston's right there for the tackle. That's what you got to do against Rankin. Wrap him up, get in front, force him out of bounds.
Big play early on here for the Red Blacks defense. 2nd and 8 from their own 20-yard line, trying to force a field goal. Importance based on the weather this evening and how valuable points will be as Brendan O'Leary-Orange makes the grab and immediately tackled Niles Morgan right there. A.J. Allen, his running mate in that linebacking core, never far from the play as flags fly.
Let's see what happens here. This was a quick throw by Cody. Probably not going to get you anywhere close to the first down.
Major foul, face mask. Ottawa number 1, 15-yard, a full 15-yard penalty and a first down.
So Niles Morgan on the tackle had another face mask. We'll see if we can get a picture of it.
Costly one for the Ottawa Redblacks. As I said, 2nd and 8 Throw was underneath, and then in the process of making the tackle, as Carter O'Donnell down on the field getting looked at by the training staff.
So this will be the first trip inside for the Elks into the red zone, which is, you know, an interesting stat about the red zone. One of the best teams in the CFL. Here, I think I got a better picture of the face mask here. There it is right there on Austin Mack, right? Puts his hands, knocked him around. Okay, so Niles Morgan on Austin Mack is where the face mask happened. But this team is the best in the Canadian Football League last year, Marshall, in the red zone. The most highest touchdown percentage. They just didn't get here a lot, right? They had the least amount of trips. So expect this team to be dominant again in the red zone this season.
Last year in the CFL, 60% of score zone trips resulted in touchdowns. That's the highest on record since tracking began in 2008. Edmonton, little option look this time from Fajardo, who puts the shoulder down. And Rankin wishing he could get the pitch on the edge, but well defended by the REDBLACKS. Alonzo Adai.
Well, when you start running option plays, you don't have an answer. It's hard to have an answer for the quarterback. You're going to have to bring somebody else. And watch Alonzo Adai. Recognize it, starts running downhill. He's the second player to be there. Good play by the REDBLACKS. A.J. Allen, Alonzo Adai in a good position to handle that option play by the Elks.
Mark Cordy is in at center, by the way, with Carter O'Donnell, the left guard, going to the sideline. Means that the original starting center, David Beard, slips over to left guard as Fajardo looks into the end zone and just past the outstretched arms of his intended receiver. Running through the back of the end zone. I think that was Keon Julian Grant. That was KJG. Had 7 touchdowns last year, led Edmonton, but off target this time for
You're
CF7.
always looking to see what's in the middle of the field. If there's never somebody in the middle of the field, there's no free safety, what are you going to do? You're going to have a post player right in the middle of the field. You throw it right through the goal post, just a little high for Keon Julian Grant. You can see Cody's there. Wish he had that throw back. There's a lot of space in there. You can get inside position. He just missed the throw to Keon.
Vincent Blanchard out for the 12-yard field goal attempt to put the first points on the board in the nation's capital. It's up, through and good. And Edmonton, who won both of the matchups against Ottawa last.
We got to get more physical up front. Let's start the young player who is very physical.
Inside handoff here. Looks like Elijah Collins goes for a gain of 5. And by the way, UBC, Laval, Montreal, and the Wilfrid Laurier Golden Hawks, they get the nod as the U Sports schools that have the most, tied for 11 each at the front of the herd. As you see the physicality up front against Jordan Williams, and right behind the rookie.
And the big thing you're trying to do is, like, use your physicality, get underneath Williams, keep your feet moving on contact, and those are things he's shown on tape to be very good. And especially to playing the guard position, you've got to set the depth of the pocket. And you really got to be physical on the inside.
Extremely happy with Vaccaro through training camp. And that's why he gets the start right away. Is bobbled here. Looks like miscommunication in the backfield. And Mayer thinking about throwing it away. And now flips it into the Ottawa sideline. Is tracked down from behind by Kenneth Logan Jr. coming off a huge rookie campaign. And Mayer with a missed opportunity there on 2nd and 5. Not sure what went wrong in the backfield, but clearly a mess.
I think they were trying to do, I think it was a draw play, and Collins wasn't on the same page with his quarterback, because that could look like it surprised Jake Mayer. And he had to scramble and good. Difficult position. You're 2nd and 5 in a good position. They got to clean up. They not getting any first downs so far this game.
Missed opportunity there for Mayer, who was named a captain this week alongside fullback Anthony Gosselin and defensive lineman Michael Wakefield. As Javon Leak driven inside his own 10-yard line once again by Noah Getman. Impressive showing early on. Despite the conditions, the heavy foot.
Not allowed to run right through. This is a protection issue in the Canadian Football League. A defenseless player is the long snapper. They want to protect him.
My apologies to Brock Mogensen. It was Noah Taylor, as you saw Mark Killen talking it over with Taylor, trying to coach him up on that one. So 15-yard penalty, and it results in a first down for the REDBLACKS after they had already punted the football away. So Daniel Adamaboy in the ball game. Jared Brinkman, former Toronto Argonaut, in the middle of that play for the defensive line of the Double E.
Impressive, you know, so far through this first quarter, is the Elks have not given up a lot of yardage on first down and forced the REDBLACKS to be in long yardage situations. So holding up defensively, Brinkman and company.
Jake Mayer with 2nd and 7 in plus territory. Drenched Mark Killam watches on as his defense digs in. They'll send pressure. Looks like they were in the 1-yard restricted zone, and pass is incomplete. But it should go against the attacking Elks, despite celebrations on the back end by Kobe Williams.
Really good play by Kobe Williams, but that's going to come back.
Number 20, 5-yard penalty. We'll replay second down.
A little bit of pressure on the outside. Kenneth Logan Jr. Okay, you'll see Kenneth Logan Jr. trying to blitz off the edge, and he just doesn't time. He ends up in the neutral zone on the hard count, but good job by Jake Mayer on the hard count. Nullifies the nice play by Kobe Williams knocking the ball down.
5-yard penalty. 2nd and 7 becomes 2nd and 2. No Lewis, the lone receiver at the bottom of your screen. They'll run it his direction as Adeboboye puts a shoulder down and into traffic. He bullies his way across the 40 for a Redblacks first down.
Love Daniel Adeboboye. 386 yards on 70 carries last year. Outstanding special teams player for this organization. A team that's lost a lot of their leadership in the special teams. They get Daniel Adeboboye last year. Been an outstanding addition to this Redblacks team.
15th overall pick back in 2022 by the Ryan Dinwiddie-led Toronto Argonauts. Came over here, of course, while Dinwiddie was still with Toronto, but now they have a reuniting of sorts in the nation's capital, and needed tonight is Elijah Collins in the starting lineup, and this one complete to the man who always seems to be open, Justin Hardy.
Watch Justin Hardy here on a simple slant, and he gets a little bit of he doesn't have much of a cushion, and he gets contact as he's about to make this play by Kobe Williams, but great concentration. That's what you need when your catches are coming with contact. You got to make sure he brought the ball into his body a little bit to protect the football. Nice catch by Justin Hardy.
There hands it off out of Adeboboye. Once again going nowhere. The Elks defensive front stands tall. Robbie